Welcome to Akita Prefecture. This is Kosaka, and we are inside of a school. This is the Akita Inaka School, and I've been wanting to come here for a very long time because this is a kind of a new school with an interesting concept, and we're going to be talking with some of the teachers and the founder of this school about what is it all about? What does it mean to study Japanese here in Japan? If you've ever thought about studying Japanese language, even in your own country, I think you're going to get some really good pointers from this live stream, as well as learn about the way that they teach Japanese, which is different. It's a little bit, I don't know. I think it's kind of unique, and it might be something you're very excited to learn about if this is something that you'd want to do, which is learn Japanese. This is the Akita Inaka School. Welcome, everybody. Oh, that's a school right there.
Yeah.
Well, high school, yeah.
Students and locals do it together.
Oh, so this is like can't erase it. Is that what you're saying?
You should
You're not
know.
allowed
You should not.
Yes, in trouble.
This is how you get in trouble really quickly. Introduce yourselves, everybody.
Hi, I'm Yuji, Japanese language teacher です。よろしくお願いします。
I'm Dom, co-founder of the school.
I'm Sayaka. Nice to meet you.
Right. Sayaka's a teacher. I'm John.
I'm not a teacher.
I'm not a teacher. Okay, sorry.
Mine is hiding somewhere.
I used to be a teacher, but I'm not anymore of English to kids. Great. Okay, so this is a classroom and an example of it. And you can see here and on the board, they're teaching adjectives already. Benri, which is convenient, and fuben, which is inconvenient. I know that. That's easy. So they do learn Japanese in this school. And how many students do you typically have at the Akita Inaka School?
The limit is 24 students. Yes, because of accommodation. That's why. But typically it's around 20 people per course. Yes, depending. The summer is Ichiban, and winter.
Why Akita though? Like, I mean, a lot of people had asked you, why not build this school in Tokyo? Because it's so close to where everybody comes into Japan. Why build it here in the countryside? Because if you look out the window, there's not a lot out there.
Yes, that's why.
That's the reason why.
One of the reasons, I guess. We've been in many cities in Japan. We were about to open school in Fukuoka and Osaka, but when we came here, the people, when you meet, all the nature and stuff, that's enough to just stay here. So city is different experience, totally different experience. Some people like city, some don't like, but this is like more real Japan. And Sayaka also moved here from Tokyo. Sayaka, why did you move here?
Yes. I've been traveling around Japan and looking at different language schools, and I help people choose the right language school for them. Like if you want to study to go to university, then I can show you a good school for that. This school is great if you want to be part of like the community and learn about the culture and learn Japanese in a practical way, more focused on conversation. And yes, when I first came here, I was like, wow, I need to move here because the people are so nice. And the beautiful nature, the mountains and rivers and
Rice fields, which are snow right now. It's hard to see. She's opening a window right now. You know, that was really interesting to me, the concept that you have. It's not like a traditional school to say. It's actually about the experience. This is right outside of the classroom window. I see a whole lot of the opposite of Tokyo. This is, not what you would expect. This is the view from Akita Inaka School.
yeah, those are all sakura trees. In the spring, it's so nice.
Oh yeah, I imagine.
In autumn, yeah, it's Koyo.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful
Snow
view.
is melting a bit.
So in the winter it would typically be a lot more snow than
Yes.
this.
Yes.
A lot of snow.
A lot of snow.
That's
Last
famous
week
for
was
snow.
way more.
Yeah. So like I mean, So the concept of the Akita Inaka school is very unique, I guess, because when I think of a Japanese school, I think of a classroom situation, and this is what this is a classroom where a teacher is just teaching the language and the students are repeating, and that's not what this is, right? So
Yes.
Yuji, I mean, how would you teach Japanese here? What's different about it?
What different? What different? So we always concentrate the using Japanese. Of course, we always explain the grammar, something the meaning, but we concentrated how use like so conversation. So we always use the practice a lot of conversation, talking, the time taking. Yes. So after a class, they can use with the local people. That is a good point. Yes, attractive point.
That is a key point, I think, because I don't think the camera was on you. It might have been on the other way. You're supposed to tell me. You're supposed to tell me. He was talking, and you're like looking at he was looking at you guys here. All right, let's go over to your classroom, Yuji. Yuji's classroom is right next door to this one.
No, that's not.
Oh, is it? Okay. The one after that. The point was that Kosaka is such a small little town that people are super friendly here. We just had lunch at a shop in the center of the town, and the restaurant master, the restaurant chef, comes out and starts to talk to us. That never really happens in Tokyo, not the same way. I thought that was pretty neat. And Yuji actually got some free croquet, right? He gave you free food,
I will show.
which is koroke.
This is
Yeah. Oh, you got the free koroke from the.
still warm.
Wow. So we went in there, and when after we paid the bill and we were leaving, he said, "Do you like koroke?" And Yuji's like, "Yes." And then all of a sudden, this bag of koroke appeared. I think that's sort of the vibe that you get when you come to a small town. And if you were to compare Tokyo, studying in Tokyo compared to out into the countryside, that I think is the Japanese. I'm gonna just come. I think that's the Japanese that Japan that a lot of people are looking for, because when you're learning a language, you really want to be immersed in the area, in the culture. And I think for Tokyo, you are in Japan, but you're not really immersed into the culture because you don't have the same kind of connection to the people around you. And when you come out to the countryside, as someone who's lived in the countryside the first 7 years in Japan, I'm glad that I did, because I have a stronger connection to Japan because I wasn't living in the city. The city, people don't really talk to you that much. And when they do, it's like, get out of the way, or like, right? What do you want? But in the countryside, you'll have old people and they'll just start talking to you in Japanese, and they keep talking to you, and then they give you food, and then all of a sudden you've lost 3 hours of your life. I guess in a way that's a good thing, but it can be, sometimes if you're in a hurry, it makes it really tough, right?
Yes. Even Yuji moved here from Hokkaido.
Oh, right. So you're from
He bought a
Hokkaido.
house and he lives here now.
Yes, so nice. So
Why did you move here?
why? So actually, I came before I came the Akita, so temporary for 1 month. So actually, so attractive place. So so the people is so nice, food nice, and also the nature. So actually in Sapporo, much too busy for me. So I'm comfortable to work, to study, to teach Japanese. So I decided to move to here.
And now you have a very relaxed, even life here in Akita. I mean, I know it's a lot slower than Tokyo. When I came here, I feel more relaxed. I like to be out here in nature. And I think that might be another reason why you could learn quicker, because you are a lot more relaxed. The days seem to go a little bit slower here. Yeah.
And like practice is the best way to learn. So being able to practice with the locals, and you have a lot of time and they have time to really talk with you, and like neighbors come to the share house and like gives everyone food.
Wow. See that would never happen in Tokyo where
Right.
my neighbor comes and gives me food. That used to happen when I lived in Fukushima in a little town called Iwaki. I would have my neighbors would come and they were worried about me. I was an unmarried foreigner living in Japan and I would get food like almost every night. I didn't have to cook that much. But that was the countryside relationship. People worry about me more. In Tokyo, nobody worries. It's kind of sad. In a way. But I do know like the connections that you make when you live in the countryside are so much stronger. When you say so, I guess if a student is coming here, what do you recommend as a time-wise? Because if like what kind of student is the best to come to Akita Inaka school? I mean, it's not like somebody who wants a 1 week intensive study course.
Yes.
This is a kind of a commitment.
Well, we came up with 4 weeks because 4 weeks is the best time to get immersed into culture. And if it's less than 4 weeks, it's very difficult to get that connection with local people. But many people cannot get 4 weeks. This is the problem. So people has to be able to take 4 weeks off work or school to come to our school. We are planning to get another course, 3 weeks once, but for now only 4 weeks and few 2 weeks once. But yes, that's the best option, 4 weeks. The longer is better, of course, but longer is difficult for almost everyone to stay longer.
I think a month is a good time. And I think if you're trying to learn Japanese, you can do that at home and self-study. But if you do come to Japan, I mean, I've been living here for 23 years and I'm still not that great at Japanese. But if you want to really learn the language, you have to immerse yourself, and it takes time. But what I've noticed is that the connections that you have with the people get stronger and stronger the longer that you're here. So if you're every day getting fed by this obachan, by the end of the month,
Like people are crying.
Yes!
Like hugging each other. And they still send letters.
Yes, we have one.
And we have like a line group and everyone's still sending messages. It's
That-
very nice.
that's the kind of connection. If I were to come to Japan as a tourist, I would be looking for that. I want to be so connected that when I leave, I'm like leaving a part of me behind, and the people are going to remember me. That's how I felt when I go to the islands, when I went to Aogashima and Ogasawara. I get connected with the islanders because it's that friendliness. The longer you stay, the harder it is to leave. But that also brings you back. So I'm sure you have people that have come back to here.
Even like just 4 months after the first course, we have students coming back and students still wanting to come back to another course.
Yeah,
Even they can't wait to come back.
I know, right?
And it's like a second home.
I miss my grandma. I miss my Japanese grandma. Yuji, so I'm going to talk about the learning here because Yuji, you're a teacher, right? Yuji is the teacher of the teachers, right?
Yes.
He's the king teacher here. Do you have a simple lesson that you could teach? What can you teach people right now that you could take away in Japanese?
Something bad.
Something
Something bad.
Hey, now this is a family show. Family show.
The one was the most important sentence.
Why are you laughing?
Oh,
結婚していますか？さやかさん、
結婚していますか？
結婚していますか？
してないです。
ああ、いいえ、していません。ああ。結婚していません。結婚していません。
すいません
うん。Please ask me.
ゆうじ先生、結婚していますか？
いいえ、結婚していません。ありません。結婚していません。
Wow, this is useful. So all of the obachan, you can go around Kosaka to all the obachan and say "Kekkon shiteimasu ka?" and they're gonna be so happy, thinking that you're interested in them. They're gonna make so many friends by asking, "Are you married?" So that's what this means here. So everybody say it together with Yuji here. Kekkon.
結婚していますか？
Kekkon shiteimasu ka? Yeah. Kekkon shiteimasu. Sorry, I'm Kanai, I'm sorry. Yes, I'm taken here. So that's just like little things like this. I like that lesson though because it's kind of useful that I can use right now and it's fun, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's a kind of different from other Japanese schools. When I never went to a Japanese school. Actually, I studied by books and then going out to Mr. Donuts and talking to Oba-chan. I'm serious. I would study from books on like vocabulary and then I would spend 2 hours at Mr. Donuts and always in the inaka, people would come and talk to me.
Yeah, that's kind of what we do here. We first in the morning have lessons that you can use after school, and also like we usually do activities after school. So if we go to a festival, for example, we learn about the meaning behind the festival, and so you get to experience a lot better, not just it looks nice.
And
but
teachers
you actually get to understand
always
the
go
culture.
with students. So teachers are not leaving after the class. They just being part of the students' life. So they spend 24 hours with students, going to festivals, cooking stuff, going everywhere. So it's much more fun, I guess.
Interesting.
So
the-
Ichiban sake drinking.
so if you need some booze, there you go.
This is yes.
Oh no, that's the hard stuff. And last night we might have been drinking a little bit last night too.
I don't drink. You don't have to drink.
Yeah, okay, you're safe here. All right, let's see if we can get to 300 likes, and we're gonna go to the next classroom before here. Just take a quick look around here. So this would be the classroom that you'd be for Yuji's class. So once again, click the thumbs up button if you like this content, because I think it's pretty interesting to learn about what it's like to go to a Japanese school, at least here. Yeah, I noticed that there's like dumbbells down here. So these are the bad students, the dumbbells here. That's such a bad joke. That's such a bad joke. All right, we got our 300 likes. Move on to the next one. So right now, are there any students here?
No.
No students.
No students, just Yuji's cram school students, because he's also teacher for cram school.
He runs a juku for like teaching Japanese to local Japanese kids. So yes,
Oh,
we
wow.
have local kids coming here. And that's what some of the
Yes.
drawings were.
Usually he punched them. That's how they learn.
I think, as you can see, there's a sense of humor here. It's about enjoying and having fun. Dom, I wanted to ask you though, like a lot of the students, I have some questions that you've asked me on Patreon, but when we get to Dom's office, I want to ask a little bit about some of the questions that you might have. So we'll do a question and answer. Following this live stream, we're going to be driving around Kosaka because I want to show off this little teeny town that has so much personality here in Akita. It's North Akita, right?
Yes.
So we're going to get in a car and drive around. So right after this, around 3:05 p.m. Japan time, in about 30 minutes or so, we're going to be in a car driving around. So you're not going to want to miss that live stream. Let's take a look at some of these pictures here. So there's no students here because of the pandemic.
Yes. Yes.
But I think through these photos that you have on the wall here in the common area, you can get an idea of what the experience is like going to the Akita Inaka school. What would you like to show us first? Let's
the
hear.
first one last year, summer, or
We're having a photo exhibition to the locals, but this is, yes, photos from the summer course. We had a sports day with the locals.
Yeah, sports day with the locals. Oh
They
my
were
gosh.
so strong. We actually lost to the locals.
These guys look kind of not so young, and you lost. Like, where do they get their power from? Oh my gosh.
Maybe farming. See, we had very strong students, but we still lost some.
Look at this team lost to the locals, average age 70. All right, that's pretty sad, guys. I don't know. That's pretty sad.
Oh my gosh, that's me with
Oh, there you are.
like, what's it called?
oh, I don't know.
Eating bread.
I always eat with the plastic. I always eat with the plastic on too. That's the best way. You have to earn it, you know. Yeah, get to the ampan that way. Wow. So it looks like a lot of people are having fun.
Cooking with locals, Happy Kyutampo.
Wow. Hey, there's a kitty tambo. That's part of Akita.
Mm.
Oh, I love Akita tambo. And this is one of the obachan that people will meet here.
Yes,
Yeah,
she's so cool.
she's so cool. She might not.
Sagaki-san.
She might look like an authoritative person, one of these people who does all the spanking, but she's got a heart of gold,
A lot of energy.
a lot of energy.
Yeah, many
Interesting.
local festivals. This is just like in front of the supermarket and also in front of the share house. We have, yeah. With local festivals, you get to experience it together with the locals, not just watching from the side. You can,
Yes, that's the also
Participate.
main difference, I guess. In big city, you can mostly watch the festival, where in here you're preparing everything from the beginning. Then you stay after, and then you go for dinner and drinking with the locals.
Yeah.
So it's totally different experience.
Oh, here's a school from this is this school from a drone
Yes.
shot. Oh, that's pretty beautiful. So this could be your home for a month. So where do the students live? If you do stay here for a month to learn Japanese, and like I think it's
We set up tents outside of the school.
really.
ignore it.
Are these glamping tents? Because then, like, that might actually be not a bad thing. I don't think you'd want tents today, though. I don't know, like winter. Really, tents? I don't know, man. So I think there's
Yes, share houses.
sheer houses. Hey, wait, can we take a look at one of them later on?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
They
cool.
are in the stage of being empty, but yes, we can check even the house that usually we are staying. But next year, students will also be staying because we keep renovating the houses.
Yeah. I want to ask you a little bit about this school. We're going to look at some more of the pictures here. But I look at this picture, and again, like this was here in this building. This is an old renovated school, right? This is was an abandoned an Akita that had no tenant for a long time, and the team here came in and set up this as a place to teach visitors, people coming to Japan, Japanese, and I thought that's a great idea. This picture here is of the old school, which was put out of commission or killed in 1981. So this is what this school looked like in 1981. And they built this school. So actually the building that they're in right now it's not very old, is it? Comparatively. It's a 1981, 1982. So it's about 40 years old, this building, which is relatively young for a school.
And 7 years ago around, it got renovated again. Like the toilets are brand new. And
Wow.
The downstairs is brand new, but the classrooms, they kept the same to have the nice feeling of.
What a waste. もったいないじゃん. This crazy, like, wait, so they spent millions of dollars to renovate this school, and then there just weren't any kids or something.
Yes.
Is that, what's it, why did the school go?
They didn't want to abandon the school, maybe. They have connection with this school, especially the locals. So they were hoping they can use the school as something like we came here. So for them, that was so happy that someone wants to use the school and bring students, especially from overseas, and keep using as it was before. Especially the classrooms that, even the chalk. In new schools, you don't use blackboards, chalks
Right.
anymore, yes. But the sound and the feeling for teachers is so nice.
Does anybody agree? Leave me a comment below. Do you prefer chalk or whiteboards? If you're a teacher watching this, do you prefer to write on blackboards with chalk or white? I'm kind of split though. I don't know, because chalk is a pain in the neck too. I like it. It
For
sounds
teachers,
good.
maybe, but-
I don't know. Yuji, do you like chalk or whiteboards?
Yes, I like. Actually, it's a little bit difficult to write, but if I get used to once I get used to
Yeah.
to write and the feeling nice and so nice even for students.
So you think chalk is better for kanji, for Japanese?
Yes, I can
Interesting.
make the nice stroke using the chalk better than the like normal whiteboard ink one.
Interesting.
We use high quality chalk.
Yeah, you need high quality chalk. Yeah. Good. So I think we're starting to build a picture here of what it would be like to stay here. So there's 24 students that can study here at one particular time. Do they all 24 come at the same time, or do people coming and going all the time?
Well, they need to come at the same time because we are on
keep
the.
it like small groups to keep it like the community feel. Because too many people is not good.
Yes, it's difficult to go to places also, and the quality of teaching is not good if there's many people. So we keep the number down as much as we can.
And we split them into language level as well. So it's not 24 in one room.
Do you know their language level before they get here? You kind of split them up, or?
Yes, but unfortunately, when they coming, what they were telling us or doing the tests, it's a bit different than reality. So we do it again and split them again.
Oh, there you are playing taiko. I
yeah.
see you. I see you. Playing the taiko drums and smiling and having too much fun. Taiko drumming is hard. You shouldn't be enjoying it that much.
I was like doing the opposite of everyone, so I was laughing.
Intensity is not smiling. Intensity looks like this. All right? Yeah. You're watching an Only Japan Go live stream. What did you expect? Having fun. So 24 students are here studying, and all of them are at different levels. And do they all study for the same length of time? Are they all here for a month? Or
Yes, that's the only option they have. But many students want to stay longer, but we can organize accommodation for them to stay longer, but we don't teach for more than 4 weeks at the moment.
Yeah, other schools, they often come and go and you just keep saying bye to people, but this school, you are together with the same 24 people and it makes such a nice like family community feel, and people make such good friends. They still keep in contact from the first course.
what if you don't like one of the people? Does it start? Like I don't know. What happens if there's this one person who you don't
I
like
can
and you
show
have to stick
in a
with them?
minute. We have something for them. Yes.
Oh, you do?
It's in the office.
It's
on
in the
desk.
office?
Yes.
Are you just trying to lure me in there? Is it a machine that turns people into sausage and you serve it at the cafeteria? I watch too many movies.
This is the autumn course. That's nice coil.
Oh, the autumn is beautiful.
It's
So,
actually way better than on the photos.
oh, it's better than the photos. Look at that. Is that the drone that was confiscated? Or the different drone?
I know nothing about
You know nothing
drones.
about that. All right, I did not bring that up. Yes, drones are a sensitive subject in Japan. And here's some classroom situations.
But students can fly drones in Inaka, which is totally opposite than in big cities where they cannot. So if someone wants to fly drone, they are welcome.
I don't see a lot of studying going on here.
Teachers having a
Oh,
break.
that's teachers, okay. Just a little confused. It's a little bit too easy.
Yeah, Akita.
Ah, the Akita Inu. That's Hachiko. Or maybe the great-great-great-great-great-great-granddaughter of Hachiko. Perhaps. Could be. We're not sure. Yeah, some beautiful pictures. They do have our website, Ryan, and I put a link in the description. So if you're interested in learning Japanese here at the Akita Inaka School, there's a link in the description so you can go and check it out. And I think your Instagram page is the most active. I said, do you have a YouTube channel? We kind of do, yeah. Like, come on. And then I said, well, our Instagram is a little bit more active. So we'll put that link in there too.
But we will be uploading more stuff. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to know what's happening in Akita. You must keep me informed. What is that ramen shop doing these days?
We also had a family from within Japan come as a private course.
Oh, yes,
They're
we do
so
private
cute.
courses.
Interesting.
Like a family got to study Japanese together. It was really nice.
Oh, and they were here for a month?
3
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
For 3 weeks.
They were planning 4, but I think Dad couldn't take 4 weeks of work. Yes. But they're coming back.
I
He's
can-
coming back next month.
I can see that. I guess the kind of student is somebody who has some time and really wants to immerse themselves into Japanese. Do they have to speak Japanese the whole time? That's a question I wanted to ask. like 日本語だけ話さなければならないですか？
クラスで。
はい。まあ、
英語で、sometimes I explain in English, but almost I explain in Japanese, and the student also speak only Japanese, only in Japanese. So I try, but sometimes a little bit difficult, so I explain in English.
After the classes, students sometimes speak English between them, each other, but wherever they go, they need to use Japanese. So even if they are in a group, like English-speaking people, they still use Japanese, which is very nice and different from typical or after classes going out with friends in Tokyo, where you just switch to English and stay in English.
That's a problem, man. Because if you're learning in Tokyo, there's so many other foreigners and so many distractions. You end up going back to your native language and making friends in your in your little foreign community, where you're not making friends with the locals. And I found that this is so true with English teachers. They come and they meet other or other English teachers in the area, and then they form a group and a friendship, and they stay really closed and don't really immerse themselves in the Japanese community.
And after 10 years, they don't speak Japanese.
And
at
after
all.
10 years, they don't speak any Japanese at all. Yeah, exactly, right? I didn't speak much Japanese in my first few years here, too, because I was the same way. Is there an age limit for being at the Akita Inaka School? Can somebody who's retired come here and study Japanese?
Of course, they can, no limits, and in fact, we have more and more people, 40, 50 plus, they coming. The oldest was 69 years old student from Australia, I believe. Yes.
Yeah. So if you're a retiree, and I'm getting a lot of questions from people that are retirees. If you're a retiree and you're thinking about coming and moving to Japan, if you're trying to learn Japanese and learn the culture and you're not sure if you want to do it, you can come here and study, learn for a month about if this is the place that you really want to live in and retire in. Then you also have the connections here to possibly even retire here in Kosaka if you really make a lot of friends. Who knows? Because it opens up a lot of doors when you get to know your community. The point is, though, that when you come to Japan as a tourist and you come here and you live in Japan, it's totally different, right? It is totally different. It's not this fantasy land that everything is perfect anymore. It's actually like you start to see the underbelly of Japan and its complexities, and that it is not always perfect. We've got a lot to complain about, but there's more not to that make this a place that I really enjoy living in. Which classroom is this? Can we have a look in here?
This one we
Oh, this
cannot
is
get in.
okay,
This
we
was
can't get in.
the film crew, and it's still being...
It's still in here.
So actually, Maki is having a class, online class now, because at the moment we're doing online classes.
Can we spy on her?
We can.
Yeah, I like to spy on people, that's why. Okay, just
But
spy
yeah,
on
we
her.
have students from all over the world, from
Look, we're spying on her.
all ages.
It's a creepy cam. It's gonna creep her out. Look at that. That could be your teacher if you come here. Look, no, she noticed us. How did she notice us? She watching us. Okay, she's really teaching. She's not watching this.
And for the online one, we have very variety of classes, like singing classes, speaking classes, totally different way of studying. And like Maki is enjoying a lot of stuff. She likes the songs, so she's teaching some students who are interested in manga, in anime, and this kind of stuff. So it's a bit different than normal teaching. And
So she's goofing off? Well, I didn't say that. Somebody wrote that right there. It was actually a comment.
Like learning in a fun way, using lyrics from songs, and yes.
What-
If you enjoy what you learn, you get to learn more and keep going as well.
So if you do goof off, you do not get a ruler across your hands like they used to do in the 19th century.
They
Wait,
can get that when they're here. Yes. Online is difficult, but
It's difficult online to hit your students. Now, that would never happen here. So we're walking over now to Dom's office. This is the headquarters, the brain trust.
maybe this is.
Yeah, it's a pretty big school. So just the second floor here is the Akita Inaka school, right?
Yes, the first floor is the printing company.
And also first floor, there's like where locals can come as well.
Ooh, it smells like essential oils.
Yes, this This is Yuji's invention.
Yuji selection. Interesting. Yeah. So I want to take some of your questions now. I've gotten a chance really to give you an overview of the school. I might have missed some things. Again, if there's something that I missed, leave a comment in the video below. And they do have a YouTube channel. They can come and answer your questions as well if you have something about Japanese school. I just have been learning about this place over the last 24 hours, hanging out with Dom and the team here. And I've noticed that it's just the way that they teach Japanese is different than a school that you would learn in Tokyo or somewhere else. Whereas they think it's more studying by a textbook. You do have textbooks here, right?
Yes and no. We do have them, but teachers are picking up from different textbook stuff. So we found out textbooks are for the long-term studying, and they are more based for JLPT stuff. They are not designed for 4 weeks studying and focusing on conversation. That's why we don't have specific textbook, but teachers do use different textbooks, and they create own program as well. And this is for the bad students.
Oh, is that what it was? Oh, you're gonna katana them, huh? That's not even real.
This is not the real one. This is for practice. So it is
Practice?
practice meaning because we do katana classes with Kosenda Sensei, with katana masters. So this is for our practice. This is sharp, actually, pretty sharp.
Yeah, just keep that away from me. Sharp enough, okay.
But we will get the real one when we get to the stage when we are.
You have to earn it or steal it because these are protected
Or
cultural
phone it.
properties. Yes. So yeah, I think learning by textbook, it never really helped me. But what Yuji was telling me when we were driving, actually at the restaurant, was that you will learn lessons about an activity that you're about to do. For example, if you're going, just come over here for a second so I could take up the mess. So if you're going to a festival, then you would learn some words that were associated with the history of the festival or the festival, or ordering food at a food stand, and you would learn practical Japanese that you can use right away. And I thought that was really interesting, because in a textbook, you're given lessons and situations that might not be applicable to your life. Like, why do you even learn arithmetic at all? I'm never going to be a mathematician. I'm still kind of wondering that, but it's still kind of cool to have it. No, but I have an appreciation of math now, because I found that it had nothing to do with me being a mathematician and everything to do with me being able to solve a problem in my life. Didn't matter if I wanted to do it. Math presents you with interesting problems that you need to learn to solve. And the more you start to solve them correctly, the more addicting math can become. It's weird that it could be like that.
But that means you just need to know count from 1 to 10.
That's not math, that's just counting.
It's enough.
That's true. Counting 1 to 10 in Japanese is the gateway to counting to 1,000,000. Everybody knows that. If you can do 1 to 10, you could probably do 1 to 1,000,000. Yeah.
I forgot to mention something. Actually, our co-founder, which is Angela from International Me.
That was one of the questions. Is she related to this project?
Yes, she's related. She's the co-founder, and because she's been traveling a lot countryside in Japan, she also found that this place is very unique and very nice. So together with her, we decided to open the school. So yes.
And where is
sorry
she
for-
now?
Well,
Hiding?
she couldn't come.
She's playing with hamsters.
Yes, I think so. In Tokyo. Yeah, we wanted to see her, but she must be busy, and she couldn't make it this time. But yes, she's coming from time to time.
Oh, so you get to hang out with Angela, who's a very interesting person to talk
And,
to.
yes, and
Lots of stories. All of them true. Excellent. They heard the xylophone in the background. I wonder where that came from. Oh, look, there's a xylophone. Oh,
It's a marimba, I think.
that's interesting.
This was found downstairs in a hidden music room.
Together with grand piano.
So you stole this from the abandoned school.
We just borrowed for life.
Borrowed it for life. Yeah, that's that's the way I would say. I used to play these in schools. Marimba. Very nice. And we have a question here. Where are you from?
I was born and raised in New Zealand, similar to Angela. But yes, my mom is Japanese, so I can speak Japanese as well. Yes, I'm from New Zealand. But
She's a
now I
Kiwi.
moved to Akita because it's lovely.
Yes, she's attracted to Akita because it's lovely. And once again, like Yuji's from Sapporo,
Mongolian.
Mongolia. No, he's not from Mongolia.
見て見て。
All right, it could be. I'm very confused now. I don't want to wrestle you. I know that, or drink with you. They're actually quite tough drinkers. I was in Mongolia once. Long story. Actually, it's kind of a short story. It ended up with me getting really sick. But how did I get there? Very interesting. Let's see if we can get to 500 likes in here, and I'm gonna press Dom on some really big questions here. Oh yes. So I know like studying in Japan has different price points too. I think it's all about the experience as well. But I mean, is it expensive to study? At the
in
tuition.
general or in our school or
At your school and in general comparatively?
well, it's a hard question to say what is expensive, what is not, because for every person that the answer will be different. Like I may think something is expensive, but you may tell me it's not expensive. So it's hard to answer. But in terms of what you gain, the experience, I think it's not expensive at all. Because we've been traveling in Japan before many times, spending money on hotels, other stuff. And after coming to and living in Inaka, in the countryside, we can say that all that money spent before in the places we've seen was totally nothing comparing to the experience we got here. Same for students.
Yeah.
So you need to have different approach on looking at the price and comparing, because it's hard also to compare our school to other schools where people are going for different reasons and they getting something else out of it. So the question is what you're looking for and what you want to get out of the experience, and then you probably won't even
Mobius says so. It's
compare.
expensive. So it's expensive. I think comparatively, and Zach wrote in, it's 100% worth it. Comparatively, I think that the prices maybe a little bit more than other schools, but I think what you get out of it is a lot more because you are actually living here out in the countryside, making local connections and supporting a local market here. Kosaka, I don't think was a growing town, was it? It was kind of
it was
shrinking. That's why the
when
school
they had
was
here before,
abandoned.
but yes, now it's shrinking. So.
Yeah. So I just think this is such a great thing because more towns around Japan, that with the population shrinking, the economies are as well. So coming here and living in Kosaka, it just does so much. It gives so much energy to the residents here. And what I've seen through the pictures, I think the reason why the Oba-chan come and talk is just because it's so fun and unique, right?
Yes.
For everybody. And I think that's just the experience. And they want people here. And this is the most important thing. They want you to come here and the locals. And that makes that relationship so strong that you see in the pictures. So, I mean, when you do pricing Japanese schools and you're thinking whether or not, if it's worth it or not, I always think about the experience that you're going to have. And the cost performance. And if you read the reviews again of the school, and I saw the Facebook page, like I didn't see anything negative, and you didn't delete those, did you? No. I was like kidding.
You can't delete Facebook
You can't
reviews,
delete. Oh, really?
but they're so nice and lovely.
Yeah, you can't delete Facebook reviews, so they're all pretty
And
nice.
basically for pricing, people are forgetting when they're comparing the basic price, cost of the living, for example, in Tokyo, cost of buying food, cost of accommodation and transport, which is like almost zero in Inaka. So this is another thing that you need to make good calculation if you really want to compare. But then if you start comparing that much, probably you are not looking for what we are offering.
Yeah.
You are more focused like book-based studying, and after the class having.
Yeah, you pay for the experience that you want, and I think if you're coming out here, I think you get what you pay for sure, and a lot more, because everybody that has left a review, or where's the letter? Just the connection that people have made with the people here, This is the thing that is most touching to me. This
A
letter.
letter from our German
Right.
student to one of the town. Sayaka can translate. Oh, John.
Christopher. This is
Yes.
from Christopher.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, all right. So this is a letter that Christoph wrote to somebody. Who did he write it to?
To the shop owner
Dear
that he was visiting.
Kawaguchi-san and Kumagai-san, Happy New Year. The restaurant is such a special place. The gyoza is delicious. The beer is very easy to drink, and the conversations are lovely. The time was so fun. Domo arigatou gozaimasu.
Looks like he's coming back soon after the coronavirus
Thank
is
you
going to
so
come
much.
back.
Yes, after Corona, I'm sure to come back.
Yeah.
Please have a good year. Even though it's cold, please take care of yourself. Crystal.
Wow. So that's a really beautiful letter.
And we have more like this, too many maybe to show, but this is another one example of the youngest, our youngest student, John. That was John. John the spider.
Minasama. This is pretty. This writes better Japanese than me, actually.
Of course.
Of course, I didn't go to school. This is why. Yeah. I hope you are all well, and other courses have been successful. Every day I think back to the summer course and remember all the happy memories I made thanks to all your hard work. Have a great new year. Enclosed is a lino print I made of Kosaka. I hope you like it. That's really nice.
Yes, he like drew this.
Oh, he drew. Oh, wow, there is. Wow.
You can't really, because we made a mistake. We
What?
put the foil on it, but
Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah, it's underneath there, but I get the idea. So that's Kosaka, a typical town in Akita, but it's a little special, and we're gonna get a chance to drive around in 15 minutes. We're gonna leave or so and drive around the town. Like I think in order to understand this Akita Inaka school, it's kind of a good idea to get into the car and just drive around the town of Kosaka, because very much part of this school is the town itself. So, and Dom said that we might get a chance to look into one of the
yes.
share houses.
Yes.
So it's not a hotel; it's a share house that students will live in. So you're all 24 people living in the same share house.
No!
Why? That would be a lot of fun.
In the same room.
That would be fun, no? Like a party all the time. No.
No, the girls living in a different house, girls' house, guys living in a guy's house. Yes.
Okay, that makes sense.
And
I
everyone
never-
has either own room. They can share rooms, but mostly everyone has own room.
Okay, that makes. I was gonna say women and men should be separated. I was just thinking of something else. Yeah, but no, it's. I think share houses is the way to go, because you can also do homework together and you can talk together.
Yeah, the cooking and the locals are coming, and this is the best part. Local students are coming.
That must be crazy.
And joining. So actually, nobody wants to stay in a hotel. They can stay in a hotel, but nobody wants to do that.
I can see the locals coming every day, knocking on the door and bringing food, right?
And sake.
And sake, yeah, coming
Yes.
over. You make one friend. That friend tells everybody else, and then everybody's coming to the share house where all of the students are to drink. Probably too much, and you never have to buy a drink either, probably, because they buy the cheap stuff too. The hard stuff with personality. You're not drinking sake until you've had the sake that, goes down real hard and wakes up with a headache. What were you guys drinking? All right. So thanks so much for introducing this school to us, guys. So you ready to take a little break and drive around here?
Yes, we can use the rocket car and drive around.
Rocket car. So we're gonna get in a car and take a look. I want to take a look and see if you had any questions too about the Akita Inaka school for the next minute or so. I'll take your questions. If you guys have to go somewhere, it's okay. Yeah, daijoubu. Yeah. So we have another live stream starting in about 20 minutes, and we're gonna get in a car. Dom has a car. It's a big car. The window's broken though. But I shouldn't be talking about that.
It's not broken, but it's just broken.
It's not broken, but it's just broken. It's a special door. You'll see. Dom's rocket car is amazing experience. Zach writes in. Zach knows. Okay.
Zach knows, yes.
Yeah. What is your favorite class? What do you mean, like my favorite class? You have to be specific. I would say physical education. I always got an A in it.
We did sports day as well.
Oh, his first day. I liked actually English class because that's the language I speak. It's hard to fail that. But I like the critical thinking part of it. Make you think. Do you wear uniforms here? No, they don't wear uniform, but maybe you
I
should.
don't know what they do after classes, but maybe they do.
You can wear the uniforms after class, apparently. It's
The
okay.
teachers can wear uniforms if you want.
Really? What is the most popular part of the class?
Oh,
Yeah, Yuji's not here for that,
that's a
but
question to Yuji, because
yeah. But based on your experience, what would you say? Is there
Definitely interacting with the locals.
interacting with the locals? Do they come into the class too?
yes, some local students joining. Yes, classes.
Wow.
Yes, yes. This is very nice, and also the way how Yuji is kind of genius person. He trains other teachers, and the way how he teaches is totally. It's difficult to explain if you don't experience. Yes, you.
We were just talking about how you're a genius person.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, you're not genius.
Genius
The way how you
person.
teach.
Now he's here, we can't say it exactly to him.
So the question was, what is the best part of the class for students?
Best part.
What they like most?
Most yes, actually always before I said we concentrate conversation, but also like if students make their own conversation, always like if in a typical school, students learn from just textbook and they just follow the conversation. They say conversation, but it's not really conversation because just say following the script. So, but we of course I teach them the kind of script, but after learning script, student can make own story, the own experience they can talk about. So I always focus on this teaching this.
What is I got one last question for Yuji. I'm sorry, Yuji. What is success to you? How do you know if a student has succeeded? What is the measure? Is it a test score? Is it what would be so if a student studies for 1 month, what do they learn in 1 month and how do you gauge success? For me that's always been the toughest question.
Success.
Yeah.
But maybe that question would be more to student than the teacher, because for the teacher it's hard. Everyone has different goals, so every student do a bit different. One is better in speaking, another one is doing progress in writing. So there is no like fixed things that everyone will get this when they finish the course. It's up to everyone goals and the way what they want to do and to do something. Because just coming to school and sitting in the class will not teach you anything. So you need to be active, especially after the classes, and interact. So everyone will get different outcomes of that. And for Yuji, I think he has some, of course. I think Yuji. What for you?
Yeah, Rika, write your question again, Rika.
Usually I feel the good result in the graduation ceremony because when I joined the graduation ceremony, local people join also the graduation ceremony, and they said, "Oh, so much difference comparing the at the beginning and the last and graduation ceremony." So at the beginning, students actually couldn't speak much. So but the last means around the graduation ceremony, they can speak even to local people.
Because they do speech, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
In graduation ceremonies, students always do their own speech, the long speech.
So the students determine their own success, not the teachers. So there's not a set goal that.
I think students and the community there around, friends even after that, or Japanese people around. So that's the best way we can see. And yes, there is no like fixed test.
Every person is different, and the real test is real life.
Is it hard for people to find a job here in the countryside? If a student wants to stay in Japan, is it hard for them to?
Maybe not hard, but there is a limit of jobs available in the countryside.
Yeah.
So
The recent trend is though more and more remote workers can work anywhere. So if you have that, you can work remotely.
Yeah, to work remotely, sure. But you need a visa too, right?
oh yes, to
So-
work you need employer that will
Do you
provide
set
it.
up visas for students? Is that
No. Different visa. I mean, students looking for student visas, we cannot accept them because student visa is for students studying minimum 6 months.
ah
Our course is 4 weeks. And it's more complex paperwork. So students' visas are for the long term, usually 1 or 2 years, people coming to Japan and staying, studying and maybe working a bit. So for our school, it's only tourist visas or people who got visas already.
right? Okay, that makes a lot of sense here.
If your aim is
Good
to-
questions, everybody. Go ahead.
If your aim is to get a job, then I can introduce you to different schools where they help you do that and they help you like write resume or get help in doing job interviews and stuff like that.
So if somebody is interested they fall in love with
Like, it's a
Kosaka
different
and they want to
company.
stay.
Take me to Japan.
You can talk about that when they're here. That's
Yes.
something you can always talk about. And again, making connection with people, probably the best way for you to open the door into that. Doesn't mean that you're going to get a job.
Yes,
but it is,
that's true. Even Yuji knows. For example, even for English teachers, when they come first to Japan and they meet people, they don't need experience, they don't need license, they don't need to be native to find English teaching job. And many native and experienced people with papers trying to apply from outside of Japan, and they fail. So it's same with finding a job. Once you meet people here, it's totally different story than you applying because Japanese people want to meet you in person. They want to know you before they start offering something.
yeah. One question coming from Chan here. Accommodation options. So when you go to the guest house, are people speaking in English or do they just keep speaking in Japanese at the at the shared house?
It depends on the students. Some speak English, some speak Japanese. Usually they are from different countries. And the beginners trying to use English, and
Yeah.
the one with a bit higher Japanese, they use Japanese, obviously.
Once the locals come, they can't speak English.
Yeah.
So you have no option to.
You have no option when the locals come. It's the top student who speaks the most Japanese ends up doing all the speaking. Well, it's good if you don't try to translate for everybody. You have to try to find your
Yes.
voice and try to learn
And
Japanese
the
that
share
way.
house is for sleeping, basically. There is no
Ah.
time that they have nothing to do and staying half a day in a share house and wondering, well, I'm gonna speak
Yeah,
English or
it's
Japanese.
almost every day an activity and it's so busy but a lot of fun.
Yeah. Do they teach kendo in school? Do you teach other cultural stuff?
Yes, we do teach. Every course is different. For example, last winter we bring the teachers from.
The link is
Katana.
in the description, by the way, so if you
So
want to see all the information.
Every course we're trying to teach something new, and also depends on the interest of people. So yes, there is many options. Actually, too many to even list them. So we giving options that we choose. Plus, students have option like Zach last time. He was doing the drums. Yes, taiko. So he joined the local taiko drum group, and he was practicing taiko with them. Very nice.
So you can kind of customize it because there's only 24 students. It gives you also some flexibility. A little bit? Is that what you're saying?
That's true.
Interesting. And reading and writing. So you can see in the website they have a lot of. We're going to be continuing this in the car in about 10 minutes from now. So if you have some more questions, we can do that in the next live stream. But if you do have something that you want to ask about learning Japanese in Japan, definitely write it in the comments in this video, and they'll be looking at it and answering your questions. I think it's a really useful resource. And I got to be honest with you, I got lots of questions too. That's one of the reasons why I came here to kind of figure this all out. And see if this is the right place for you. I do think that you have to be the kind of student who has time to learn Japanese. That's why you come to a place like Akita to immerse yourself out in the countryside. This is the Japan that you're looking for, all right? This is the Japan that you kind of have in your mind that you don't find when you come here as a tourist. You're coming here and you're basically become a resident of Kosaka, studying here for a month with a residence here. You have a place where your family can send you your mail. You have friends here. You have teachers that are going to be teaching about life in Japan. So I think that for depending on what kind of person you are and what you're looking for in Japan, this could be the right option for you. And I think that this video hopefully has introduced you as thoroughly as I can think of about the experience that you would have here. And if you have more questions, you can contact the Akita Inaka School or leave a comment below. Yeah. All right, thanks, guys. I'm actually got to get to the car. I didn't think this live stream would be this long. And no, they're not going to wear a uniform just because you asked them. Come on. That's sick, man. I know why. All right, okay? All right, thanks, everybody. I'll see you in 10 minutes in the driving through Kosaka. We're going to be going into town next.